Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Alexandria. You can find me on Instagram at Millennial Nursepreneur. If you like what you hear in this video, please subscribe. Today we are going to be talking about where to put your money at in the beginning stages of being a freelance health content writer. And again, this content is targeted specifically towards nurses or other healthcare professionals who are looking to get into freelance health content writing. So I got my notes. I'm going to get right into it. There are 5 places or 5 things that I feel as though are important for you to invest your time and money into. And again, these are things that I've learned just since starting my business in 2022 that I found to be fairly helpful when getting my business off the ground. So the first thing that I recommend that you spend money in is a website. And I know some people are going to come for me. They're going to say, you don't need one, blah, blah, blah. It really depends on you and what your intentions are for your business. This is why it's really important. I created another video about finding your why, really about kind of helping you identify what your purpose or what your intentions are with becoming a freelance writer. It's really important that you spend some time figuring that out so you can understand whether or not things like a website might be important. I suggest that a website is important for several reasons. It's a great place for you to start a blog. It is a great place for you to host all of your paid articles that you've written. It's a great place for you to host articles that maybe you haven't been paid to write, but it's a holding place for all of your articles to be, so that when a future client comes and says, hey, send me some samples, you can send one link and it's done. You're not sending them to 12 different places to help them figure out who you are as a writer. Also, with websites, you can put a landing page on there for your rates. And then also it's a great place for you to hone in or tap into an about me page. People want to know who you are, especially when you're talking about, retaining clients. You want them to have a space to kind of get to know you. So much work, so much business right now is being done via Zoom because of COVID, and we've gotten so used to not having to be physically in front of each other, and that's fine, but it sometimes can take away that human piece that is missed through video, through Zoom, through, audio and phone conversations. Sometimes that about me gives you a glimpse into who someone is that they may not be explaining well on video or over the phone. The next thing that I recommend you invest in is LinkedIn Premium. At first, I was not a fan of LinkedIn Premium. I really didn't see the benefit in it, but it's a service for businesses, for professionals who want to connect with other people. And LinkedIn is a funny little place in that if you are not someone who specifically knows a person you're trying to connect with, it can be a lot harder to send them a message or ask them to connect with you if you don't have LinkedIn Premium. LinkedIn Premium is also a great place. I've noticed if you're ever actually thinking about going back to work and being an employee rather than an employer, it's a great place for you to look at some of the job posts that are out there, and you can actually see how many people have already applied for a job that a recruiter has posted, which has its benefits, because if you know that a post has been up for 3 weeks and the recruiter has not replied to the 275 people who have already applied for that assignment, it may not be worth your time looking into that assignment and applying for it. And this isn't just for health content writing, this is just for any job out there. But LinkedIn Premium has some features that can be really helpful to help you better understand who's coming to your page, and are they potential clients? Are they potential connections for you? This can be of benefit to you. The third thing I recommend that you invest in, and I mean, this is for any business, get yourself in contact with a business attorney. Even if it's not someone who you can afford to put on retainer, I highly recommend that you have a business attorney in your back pocket or on your team. And this is because when you're starting a freelance writing business, every state is different in terms of their requirements and what is absolutely necessary in terms of filing paperwork to start your business, and choosing a name, and how you do business and where you do business. If you decide to sell any services beyond your content writing, every state, every jurisdiction, depending on the state, every county and city may have rules and regulations that you need to adhere to. And it's really hard to kind of navigate all of those things and start a business and do your day job if you still have a day job. So highly recommend that you invest some money into a business attorney. I know me personally, I have gone through both LegalZoom when I started my business initially, and then eventually I shifted over to Legal Shield. Both have, business attorneys in different arenas that can absolutely answer very general questions about starting a freelance writing business in a specific state, and maybe even a specific city. You don't have to have someone necessarily on retainer. Again, you can utilize services like LegalZoom and Legal Shield. The fourth investment I recommend is an accountant. And this is really important because as you start a business, you're going to find yourself getting paid, and you're going to need to figure out, okay, is this going to put me in another tax bracket? If it is, am I ready to deal with the cost associated with that? And if you're not, and if you're thinking that developing a business may be the best or the better route for you, talking with an accountant is definitely the way to go, because they can give you some guidance. And between the accountant and the business attorney, hopefully your business is set up and structured appropriately based on what you're anticipating bringing in for the year with your freelance writing, in addition to any other work that you may be getting paid for as an employee elsewhere. Finally, oh my goodness, also related to tax season, get yourself a business checking account. I have not had the experience of putting paid money into my personal checking, but I know people who have, and it can be a problem for you during tax season when you are trying to decipher what money came from where. Instead of going through that headache, get yourself a QuickBooks set up and get yourself a business checking account, and have all of your business expenses and your income going into your business checking account. It's just not worth the hassle of trying to separate money at the end of the year, because you're bound to forget where everything came from unless you're writing everything down on paper, which again is very time consuming. So I highly recommend that you get a business checking account. That is all for this video. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to the channel. And if you are ready to dive into freelance writing, I have a content writing course that I have developed just for you, and I will leave a link to it in the description.